so much, Diana. It's my absolute pleasure to be up here today speaking to you. So the purpose of my slot really is to take you through our all-important business cycle. Before I do that, let me tell you a little bit about myself and my background and why I'm stood here today. So my name's Zoe, as mentioned. I'm 25 years old, and when I first came across this remarkable opportunity, I was a student. So I studied a sports science degree at Northumberland University in Newcastle and was randomly approached by a complete stranger to me at the time about Forever. Although slightly skeptical, I just kept thinking, what if? What if this could really transform my life, my future, but also the future of many other people as well? Because I've always had a massive desire to want to really help and benefit others. So I started my journey just initially with the intention of building an extra £200 to £400 alongside my studies. And after achieving that within the first month, I started to see the bigger picture. People kept saying to me all the time, aren't you lucky finding this at your age? And it finally started to sink in, really the true potential of where Forever could take me. So I started to get really start to work with the business, and it's just been an absolutely phenomenal journey. It's really helped me massively to create amazing life choices, and it's created more friendships than I could ever imagine. I have the most awesome team of people. A lot of them are Geordies. And it's really helped me become such a different person to the person who I was when I first started my journey. And you see, that's the incredible thing that I love about Forever, because it's helped me so much more just to develop as a person. And to me, money can't buy that. So that's something really special in my eyes. So where have I got to? Well, I'm now a senior manager. I have a downline of over, I think, 28 managers now. They're all incredible. I did Global Rally 2,500 last year, just under 4,000 CCs we ended on. Chairman's bonus level 1+1, and you can see the other ones on the screen there. So we can all hit times in our business where we do think, can I actually do this? And I'm not going to tell you that my journey was plain sailing. There were certainly times when that came into my mind, and I really did think, can I actually build a business? I had a huge battle with self-belief. Could I lead people? Would people take me seriously at my age? All the usual barriers that we put in front of ourselves to stop us from achieving our goals and our dreams. So I knew something needed to change. My total downline managers in 2014 was 0, which kind of frustrated me, as one of my biggest visions was to help people, as I mentioned, and I really didn't feel as though I was doing that, especially in a financial way. So at the Managers Summit in August of 2014, I sat at the table at the Managers Summit and I said to myself, I'm never ever coming here alone again. So that year I set myself a goal. That goal super excited me. And it was actually to have 50 managers within my downline there with me at the next year's Managers Summit. I remember speaking to Paul San in Singapore of that year, and he was saying to me, Zoe, that is a huge goal. And at the time I thought, yeah, it is, but something in me believed. And you've just heard Lisa speaking about the importance of belief, and it's so true. So by me working the business cycle with real urgency, real consistency, and coaching my team to do the same, this is what then started to develop over the year of 2015. So looking back, it completely blows my mind. So what changed? Well, a big part of it was that I had that decide to decide moment. Like Lisa said, it's so vital. And if you haven't had it yet, don't worry. It took me a while, but it totally works. When you decide to decide and you really decide to stop getting in your own way and start believing in yourself and believing that you can do this, you can really have a significant impact on your own business and the business of so many others. I can honestly say I've worked 100% harder on myself than I have on my own business. And from that moment, I started to work the business. Not that I wasn't working it before, but this time I had a massive sense of belief. I was working on purpose, so I had that clear direction with my goals. And so can any one of you. Any one of you can go out this room today and start to work differently, just like I did. And this simply shows the power of working with goals, with implementing the business cycle that I'm going to share with you today. So it all starts really with looking at the first steps to manager. On page 12, you'll see the business cycle. And make sure that you actually read this booklet really thoroughly, because a lot of what is in there is all you need to really be able to build your business and successfully coach others. All you need to do is just add and start to share some experiences and some stories alongside it, because they're what really motivate and they're what really inspire people. So if you want to be an amazing coach, become an amazing storyteller, because it's incredible the impact that that can make to motivate somebody to take the action and start to go around this cycle really effectively. So before we work the cycle, we really have to look at what's in the middle of it, your why. Why are we working it in the first place? This is the thing that drives us. And if this isn't in place, we're going to fall at the first hurdle, the first obstacle that comes in our way. So some questions which I really use to help my team to establish their purpose, establish their why, is some questions that Brian Main taught me when he came to one of my trainings that I had. And it's really about finding what makes your heart sing, what makes you happy and what's important to you. So these are the simple questions that I ask people. So if you won £1 million on the lottery, what would you do differently with your life? If you only had 6 months to live, but you could live in perfect health from this period, what would you do differently with your time? What have you always wanted to do, but maybe been just too afraid to attempt? If you could be granted any one skill or ability, what would you choose? What gives you the greatest feelings of pleasure and satisfaction? What legacy would you like to leave, and how do you want to be remembered? And what one great achievement would you dare to dream for yourself if you knew that you were only granted success? You need to answer these really quickly. If you do that, they'll come from the most powerful part of your brain, your subconscious mind. And just give really short answers. These should identify really what's important to you and what means the most to you in life. And you can then surround them around your goals and what you want to work towards. So then we have your who do you know list. This is the first quadrant of the cycle, and it's your database. If you had any traditional business, regardless of whether it's in Forever, if you had any traditional business in the outside world, you are going to have some people that you need to market that business to. So Forever is no different. This is definitely not a who do I think would be interested list. It is everybody you know. We cannot prejudge anybody. You've just got to write down everybody you know, and you should all at least know well over 500 people. What I do when I'm sat down with somebody speaking them through the business cycle is I refer to stories. And I don't have a massively powerful story for this section, but what I do is I use stories that I've heard by attending these events, the success days, and other trainings that I've had since I've been alongside my Forever journey. I actually use one of Jane Leach's. She told an incredible story about how she prejudged somebody who had the perfect life on the outside to her. So she prejudged her, she didn't introduce her to the opportunity, and by doing so, she missed out on somebody who joined somebody else's team. They went manager, and I think, she can correct me if I'm wrong, but she lost well over £200,000 that she would have been paid back in company bonus recaps by prejudging that person and not introducing them. So always think about that when you think, should I speak to them about Forever? So just fill the list with as many people as you can. You're going to get some training on this, I know, later today of how you can really expand and work hard to expand the list further. So then what we need to do is we need to make the contact. Get out of your comfort zone with this. I have 3 frontline managers, and most of those, all 3 of those people, I developed into my team by getting out my comfort zone. I didn't sit behind a laptop. I got out there. One I recruited in the gym, the other one I recruited at a networking event, and the other one I recruited from a product referral because I asked for a referral. So you've got to get out there. You've got to get out of your comfort zone. You've got to take the opportunities that arise in your everyday life. A great way to share you just need to be yourself. Keep it super, super simple. Do not overcomplicate this. And that energy and that passion and that enthusiasm, bring that across, because as you've already heard so many times yesterday and today, that makes a real, real big impact. Focus on completely the needs and wants of the other person. This isn't about you. This is about how you can help and benefit their life. And really be proud of what you're doing. It's so, so important. You're part of an incredible company. Be proud of that and be proud to share that with other people. The key thing is, though, and Lisa said this earlier, you need to be persistent and you absolutely need to be consistent. So what I get my team members to do is imagine that your business is an aeroplane. Now, if you contact 5 people a day, one day and then the next, imagine that that's just going to make the wheels turn faster on the aeroplane. Now, your destination is wherever that plane's going to. So the more people that you talk to, the more people that you show the business to, that you contact, is going to get that plane really building momentum and getting up in that air so it can get you to your goal and your destination. And that is it. It's really just about having them simple habits that creates and compounds that effect to create you incredible results. So you have to get good at following up. This is really where I think most people fall down in their business. They're scared to go back to somebody once they've initially spoke to them about the opportunity. I have to tell you that it will probably take some people 6 to 12 times of you speaking to them or connecting with them or building that relationship with them before they decide to even take a look or join the opportunity. So you've really got to get good at following up and celebrating the no's. I want you to think of maybe something you buy regularly. For women, it could be some shoes or a nice handbag that they absolutely love to buy. For men, it might be football tickets, a betting slip. But you have to think about something that you buy regularly. Now think, have you bought that today? So girls, have you bought shoes? Have you bought a handbag today? Probably not. Men, have you bought a betting slip? Have you bought football tickets today? Probably not. And that doesn't mean that you never want them. It doesn't mean that one day you might buy some shoes, you might buy a nice handbag. It's just that you don't want it today, right? So most people, when you go back to them, they might decide that they want shoes today. They might want a handbag. They could want a football ticket. It's all about going back to them, because when the time is right, they will follow and they will join you. So it just means that they really just aren't ready, and that's okay. People join when the time's right for them. And to be honest, why would you want somebody to join your business when they're not ready? You're going to have to sit down with them and do what Jane Leach showed us the other day, an incredible slot on getting somebody started. Why would you want to do that with somebody if they're really not motivated? You need people that are motivated and that really want this for themselves. So it is about just learning that the time will be ready at some point for them. I think we struggle with no's a lot. I'm sure many of you will do when you face them. And it certainly was a struggle for me when I kept hearing people who didn't want to join. And I think that's because as a child, we get told no thousands of times. And normally that ends on us being in a tantrum or something quite negative, a negative experience. Now, the way that our mind works, and relates back to completely what Lisa's been sharing with you about mindset, is that our mind stores, our mind stores memories, and our brain puts them in orders of emotional importance. So if I said to you, when did you first ever lose your keys? You probably can't remember that. But if I said to you, what were you doing when the Twin Towers collapsed? You can probably remember that moment. So every time we get a no, because we've had such bad experiences of no's when we were younger, we remember them as a really, really bad experience in our mind. And I don't want you to do that anymore. So what I want us to do, and because it's Sunday morning, I'm not taking any liability for injuries, by the way, is I'm going to get the music up, and I want you to show me what your celebration dance is going to be when you get your no's and you go out of this auditorium, because we're all going to get them, but it's how you react to them. So can I have the music up, please? So we have to learn to celebrate. We have to learn to lift our state, to get into a really positive mentality no matter how many no's we face, because we need to see these as a really good thing. The more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes and the closer you are to your goals and success and wherever it is that you want to go to. So you've done your exercise for your Sunday, which is great. So we then just need to simply show the opportunity. The best place to do this is really by a one-to-one. I always prefer to do one-to-ones with people. It's personable. It really helps you to understand what the person's looking for, and it really helps you to get across to them your passion, your enthusiasm about Forever. You can alternatively send somebody maybe a little 5-minute link, or you can invite them along to maybe one of your launches that you will do at home. And it is as simple as that. You then need to take them to our business presentation. And if you aren't attending these, you have to go to them. I always say to my team, you need to go to the business presentation. I know that I would not be stood here today, and I would not be in the business if I didn't attend these. I came into the business knowing nobody. I didn't even know my upline very well, but I plugged into these, I made friends, and I would take guests every single week while I was still building my confidence in the opportunity and how to present it to others. So you really need to go. We call this Success Club. You can see loads of our team on the slide there at the bottom. And you can find out where your local one is in the Forever magazine. In the back, there is literally all of the business presentations that we have all across the UK. So make sure that you support them, because these are put on by people just giving up their time to really help and support your business. You can also find where they are on Forever Knowledge if you want to look online. And the importance of a BP is vital. There will be times when you do not want to go. There were certainly times when I was not feeling at my best and I thought, do I really want to go out of the house tonight and go to a business presentation? But I got in my car, I went, and because I went, I was totally boosted. I built belief in the company, I built belief in the people, and I also built belief in myself. So you really need to go and make sure that you plug into these the presentations. And finally, the success days. Well done, and congratulate yourself for being here today, because I know that you will have made certain sacrifices. I know that you will have made certain sacrifices. I certainly did. You know, before I had a big team, it would just be me going on my own in my little banger of a car, and I would drive about 4 or 5 hours to a success day because I live all the way up in Newcastle. It was not always easy, but I did it because I knew that in order to be successful, I needed to do what the successful people do. So you need to go in and you just need to get to the success days as much as possible. These are where your light bulb moments will happen, and I promise you they will completely transform your journey. I had my light bulb moment just before I went manager when I got here, and I went home and I completely smashed it because of one of these success days and because I got here and made the effort. And that's it. We need to take people around it. We need to get the momentum going, keep the consistency. And I wish you all the future success in your journey. Remember, believe in yourself, stay on purpose, work the cycle. Thank you.